Hello, I'm Gary YouTube from Cultaholic, and guess what time of the month it is once again, children? It's time for Cultaholic to do some more Gary YouTubing. To do this Gary YouTubing, I've been joined by Jack the Jobber. How are you, Jack the Jobber?
I'm alright, I've got a bit of a cold, but not a bad one.
Well, keep it to yourself.
I will do. I was listening to a bit of Little Mix in my headphones to pick me up.
That's how you get ready for a tiered video. Listen to Little Mix. Which songs in particular?
They've got three ones I like. Black Magic. Shout out to my ex.
Never heard it.
Shout out to my ex. You're really quite the man. You made my heart break. And what was the other one? Move. Get your back off the wall.
Okay then, we learned about Little Mix today. They haven't got a patch on the Saturdays, in my opinion.
Whoa.
As you all know, tiered list works quite simply. We rank these wrestlers from the best to lovely, 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 middle of the road meh, just about bearable, and then get in the bin. But I reckon with AEW, getting the bin will be quite empty today. Hit the intro! So we're kicking things off with Mr. Angelico. If it was for dance moves alone, it would be in the bin.
Oh, you don't like his dance moves?
I'm not part of that, you know. I'm on the piss with the lads.
I'll be honest, right? I like him as a person. I remember getting on with him well when he was part of the old WCBW. I like him as a wrestler as well. But I'm not a big fan of this tag team.
I should have mentioned as well, just because a lot of people kicked off because me and Tom put Candice in the meh. We're doing this in the vacuum. Their AEW career is in a vacuum, not what they've done before. So Candice was in the meth for NXT because, you know.
If this was for Angelico's entire career, then he'd be in Lovely, Lovely, Lovely.
He
but
would, yeah.
I can't. I'm not a big. Whenever they come out, I don't find myself getting excited.
I don't hate them either.
No.
I think Meh is where
I'm gonna agree.
I think we might as well do Jack Evans as well.
There
now.
he is. Yeah.
Because you've got to paint with the same brush. Although, as we're sat here, what's the date? We're sat here on the 27th of November. On the 26th of November, that match against Omega aired on Dark, and
it was good.
I haven't seen it yet.
It was good. Not enough to bump him up an entire tier, I wouldn't say.
I'll take your word.
Pretty good. I just don't find myself getting too excited for them.
No.
I can't work out
and
why.
the Hybrid 2 is not a good tag team name for me.
No.
Doesn't really. I know it means like, oh, they're a combination of dancing and speed and flips and other stuff, but
Their Monster Energy drink.
They are
the tag team.
The human
shouldn't get that out of the way.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Awesome Kong is next up. I'm just gonna say the best.
The best.
I really like a gimmick.
Yeah, the new one with the haircut.
I was wondering where it was going, where she whacked up the knife for the first time at Full Gear. Because I got flashbacks to Tank Abbott versus Big Al from WCW Super Brawl 2000. But when she's cutting folks' hair off, put them in the belt, it's different. It's removed from anything we've seen just about before in our YouTube lives.
Is this? Are we reaching a consensus, or is this my list and you're just? Or is it your list?
Oh, I have to agree.
We're both of our opinions meshed.
We can barter like prison
So you
mates.
would go for the best. I was going to put her in meh because she's not actually done that much.
She's rocked up and cut 3 people's hairs off.
Has she had any matches for a while now?
She rocked it.
She had a match on Dark. But
did she?
Yeah, she did, but it was just a squash. I was going to go meh, and I don't know. You were going to go for the best.
I was just... I might be letting my personal opinions of the woman blink at my judgment.
I really like her.
But we're in a vacuum, aren't we? So maybe the best is a bit too much from what we've seen so far. I think the gimmick is just so different. It has to be more than meh. What was your initial reaction when she whacked out the knife?
Same as it is now. I think it's one of these things you have to let develop. I'm not ready for it yet. I haven't seen the full picture yet. I want Brandy to get on the mic and explain what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it is a bit weird, isn't it? I'll go... Well, it's got to be. It's not like
right,
we're feeling nothing for the Hybrid 2.
All right, should we put her in Lovely?
She's probably she's end up towards the bottom of that maybe, but
very good at what she does, but in a limited role.
Yeah.
Oh, have these got little rankings in amongst?
We can't do that, but it gets too technical. So it's in there, but we'll just say she's probably towards the bottom of that category.
Okay.
So next up we have Bea Priestley, and I think she needs to go in the best just for that insult. You're a effing dentist.
You're a dentist. Now, realistically, I don't think that Bea's had much of a chance to really show what she can do. So if I was just a new viewer, a new fan of Bea Priestley, or this is the only thing I'd ever seen her in, then I'd feel meh about her because we've not yet seen enough of what she's often been on, like pre-shows.
And if I was a fan just tuning in AEW and being introduced to Bea Priestley for the first time, I would be confused with the concept of that rivalry against Britt Baker, where Britt Baker was like, "You hurt me."
Yeah.
It's wrestling, isn't it? They're supposed to do that. I know they're not supposed to do that out of kayfabe, but in kayfabe, I'd be a bit confused. So yeah, the limited role has hampered her, but when she's showing up, I do like the way she just hits people.
Yeah.
Not when she hurts them, but when she hits them, because it looks like it hurts her quite hard.
I'll stick her in there.
Yeah.
I was having a little look before, and I'm not sure if we can see this on camera this bit, but
Moved the table.
I moved the table.
You're not allowed to move the table.
Oh, you told me about this before.
Yes.
And
out once, but no more.
Have I gone back to where it was?
Yeah, just about. It'll be all right. We'll
I'm
make
sorry,
it.
everyone. I couldn't see Jamie Hayter when I looked before.
Jamie Hayter's not on the roster page. I double checked this. This is on the roster page because on the NXT one we didn't have Eric Bugenhagen.
Wow.
Or Rick Boogs, or whatever he's called these days. So yeah, Jamie Hayter's not on the roster page as far as I could see.
Well, I was going to put her in there bordering on Lovely, Lovely, Lovely because I think she's really impressive healing it up.
I do like her sass.
Yeah,
she's got lots of sass. Right, I had to. So people who are on there. Billy Gunn's on there, and I felt like after last week, after the Battle Royal, I had to include him because he's wrestled.
He has wrestled.
So in his his AEW career, he's had 2 Battle Royal appearances, I think.
Yeah.
Any more?
I can't think of any more. He was in the Casino Battle Royale.
Yeah.
And then this one the other week.
Yeah. It's got to be mad, isn't it?
I know, and it feels wrong doing that.
Does it? Do we? Because he did do. He has still got it, hasn't he? And he still looks amazing, even though he's 73. He's still massive. He played his role fantastic, which
he did.
He looked big and menacing where he had to look big and menacing, but ultimately he helped build new people.
Yeah, you know what? Should we bump him up to Lovely, Lovely, Lovely?
Because he's an old man without an ego.
Maybe.
Or how much of an ego? Too much of an ego.
Yeah.
I'm not against it. I do like Billy Gunn.
I do as well.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Right, okay.
He's in Lovely, Lovely, Lovely. Brandy Rhodes.
Right. Now, Brandy's a difficult one. I'm glad now that she's just fully healing it up. She's with Awesome Kong. She's being all weird and scary. But before that, I was really confused what was going on.
I was terrified, mate, at the start because when she rocked it with Awesome Kong, and obviously she's the CBO, is that the right? CBO, Chief Brandy Officer? Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I was worried, obviously with the same title as Mrs. Lady Biles, Stephanie McMahon, I was worried we're getting a Mark II. As Stephanie McMahon II, because it was the heel with a bit more power and she'll just castrate everybody. Well, she's got literally castrating, but hair instead of genitalia.
Yeah.
But in a management role, the promos have been, while they've been confusing, they've been captivating.
She's got
while she's the fist thing, it was weird, but it made you think, oh, what's going on there?
Yeah.
I think she's more than meh, but I've got to say, it might be a bit harsh to say, but I'm not bothered about watching her wrestle ever.
No.
I'm not going to tune in AEW for a Brandy Rhodes match, as harsh as that might sound.
I was going to stick her in there because she's improving at the minute, but with her role on screen, I'm sure she's wonderful backstage. I'm sure she's great.
Well, but seems like a nice lady.
I was going to stick her in there because of that early few stages when she was sometimes accompanying Cody, being all babyface, and then later on in the show, she was like sicking Awesome Kong onto people. And
maybe we're out doing this tiered ranking a bit too early on in All Elite's history.
Yeah,
because we've 8 or 9 we're in now, something like that.
Weeks of Dynamite. Yeah, about that. Yeah.
So maybe this will change in a year's time when we'll revisit probably these rosters.
Or whatever the new trend is on YouTube,
Britt Baker.
Oh, no.
I think this is the lowest one so far. I don't get her. I just don't get her.
I feel like if she wasn't pushed so hard as the potential face of the women's division, then I'd be fine with her. But
I think she is becoming the Roman Reigns figure of the women's division. And it's not as if she's a bad wrestler out. She's not like, she doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. It's just when I'm watching her matches, I don't feel a thing. And I'm just, she's dead behind the eyes to me.
I feel like she comes in for a lot of undue scrutiny. Every time she wrestles, there's people on Twitter all being like, she missed that punch. Like, they get really
she's like the Bella Twins. She's not being asked to be put in such a prominent role. Maybe she's not ready for that role or not good enough for that role. Is that too harsh to say?
Oh, she's certainly better than Brie Bella in the ring.
Yeah, definitely, better. Maybe not as good as Nikki just yet.
Nikki was pretty good.
Yeah, Nikki was pretty good. I'm going to go just about bearable.
I was going to agree with you, and it feels horrible.
It does, but that I kind of get over that War Games thing last weekend. Where
when she was there?
Watched her boyfriend die, and she was just like, oh no.
No, I thought she looked
dead
shocked.
behind the eyes.
Dead behind the eyes. Hopefully, I think that's one that could improve. I think it was a good move that she lost to Hikaru Shida recently.
That was her best match by a mile.
Oh, yeah. So hopefully she just keeps on getting better and better. Yeah.
CIMA.
Oh, I like him. I think he's really good.
I think I'm screaming. It's screaming meh to me from what we've seen so far. I know he's played a huge role with the Young Bucks and Omega. I think he gave Young Bucks their first chance in Japan. I think the story wasn't it?
Right.
His matches have been good, but they haven't. I don't think he's had a really woo.
I can think of one that really impressed me. That was against, I can't remember which show it was, but it was against Kenny Omega, singles match, and they were jumping off the barricade and stuff.
He does seem like a lovely man, though.
Oh, he does. I think he follows us on Twitter.
Does he? Maybe. He's in the best. I had no idea about that. But yeah, he's certainly no worse than Meh, in my opinion.
Wait, no. I think he's liked one of my tweets. I've confused that. That's not as big.
That's a big mistake.
You think he's Meh?
At the very least.
I was going to go lovely, lovely, lovely.
I wouldn't be asked about that if you want to put him there.
I'll stick him in lovely, lovely.
I'll allow it. Next we have Cody, who I think is the best.
Yeah, he's got to go in the best.
The best storyteller in wrestling today.
Yeah, in and out of the ring.
In and out, yeah, just a lovely man. Out the ring as well when we met him back in the day. But that doesn't matter because we're in the vacuum.
I remember his storytelling in and out of the ring. Oh, his promos and his wrestling storytelling in the matches as well, yeah.
He is in part of the best match still in All Elite Wrestling history, I think, against Dustin.
Yeah.
I don't know what you say about the man. It's weird because I'm not much of an indie wrestling follower, but I remember like a year or two ago when he was in Ring of Honor especially, and everyone hated him just because he was the gist like he wasn't quite good enough for the billing he was getting. Yeah,
or like it seemed like he was coming in and as an ex-WWE guy, and then he just walked into a title shot and stuff like that. But then he turned it into his character, so then he became a heel, and then in New Japan, like, Okada would have just defended his belt in some amazing match, and Cody would deliberately come out and challenge him at the press conference, and everyone would be like, "Oh, Cody, man, what are you doing?" Taking the shine away, but he was doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
And he was so oblivious that he was a heel. He just thought he was a big hero.
Leader of the Bullet Club and all that malarkey as well.
There was a split. There was like a war over the leadership and stuff, yeah.
But yeah.
But now he's an old school Southern babyface.
I was going to say, it's amazing the transition from those days to now when every single person just loves the guy and gets behind him. All the credit to him. So next up we have Brandon Cutler, who, as far as I'm aware, is literally the Young Bucks pal.
He does he's like a backstage editor and stuff.
Well. Yeah, he does all Bin-worthy stuff. I'm inclined to go Bin-worthy.
I wasn't going to go Bin. I was going to go just about bearable.
I guess I can accept that because I do like the whole Dungeons and Dragons thing and how people get riled up about that and stuff.
All right.
It's a catchy little theme he's got there. But again, he's very much one of the jobbers of AEW, which is a role that's needed. Someone needs to do it, don't they, to make other people look better?
I think he does all right.
He does all right.
He does. Yeah.
There was one match where he had a stinker, but other than that, he's been quite all right.
Was it the MJF one?
Maybe. Maybe. He's been quite all right, though.
Aye.
Anything else to say about Brandon Cutler?
Lovely smile.
There you go. Nice that just about bearable is, yeah. So next up we have Christopher Daniels.
Oh, see, if this was based on his whole career, then he would be in the best tier for me because I think he's brilliant. And somehow he's like 50 or something.
He hasn't aged, has he?
No, he's just still really quick and snappy. But I was thinking lovely.
Yeah, I'm very much inclined to say that. There's just one thing I just don't. It hasn't worked every single time they've done it when he's got the Freddie Mercury microphone stick.
Swinging it about?
And he's singing along with it. It's just never worked for me. Never hit home.
I don't
think it's been weird. I just think they should scrap that.
Yeah, okay.
They don't need it. But, what do you say? He's always had the injury angle with Penta, where he legitimately, it looked like, just took a package pile driver on the. Yeah, they've had a few good matches. Can we do SCU?
Should we just do all of SCU now?
I think, because I was going to say, I think Scorpio Sky belongs in the best tier. There's Kazarian.
There's Kazarian, right.
So I think he's on the same level as Christopher Daniels.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
But I think Scorpio Sky is a step above.
Where's Scorpio?
Scorpio Sky is there.
There he is.
I think, I don't know what you've got to say about this, but the ascension to the tag team titles was its own thing.
Yeah.
But I think last week in the ring with Jericho, he set himself apart. When on the fly, he started reciting Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Oh, yeah.
I think that set him apart from both Daniels and Kazarian. I don't know about you.
I've got a real bone to pick with. I don't know his name, but is it Rick Knox? Is that the ref? Mm-hmm. The slightly older one, the older bald
guy, yeah.
He not the younger bald one. That's Bryce, isn't it?
That's Bryce Ramos.
Yeah, Rick, right? Because there was that match where Scorpio Sky threw his shoe, and it got thrown back.
Yeah.
What was he going to do? What sort of charismatic thing was he going to do with that? And then the ref just went, "You're not allowed that.
Yeah.
Not allowed your shoe back," as Matthew pointed out.
Yeah.
But no, I agree. And hopefully his match with Jericho, that might have happened by the time this goes out, I don't know.
Yeah, I think this is coming up this weekend as we're sat here on Wednesday.
Hopefully he hasn't had an absolute stinker.
Hopefully not. Yeah, this might age terribly. But he's fantastic. And it's weird because he's been around for years, hasn't he? He was in NXT years ago.
Right.
And he's just come out of nowhere, sort of. So next up we have Darby Allin, and I think that just speaks for
best
itself,
as
doesn't
well.
it?
Yeah,
What do you
course.
say? Sometimes you cringe, don't you, because of the stuff he puts his body through. But he must be all right. He must be able to. He must be able to handle it. Otherwise, he wouldn't be doing it, would he?
Yeah, I suppose so. I bet his back hurts a lot.
Yeah.
When his finishers are just falling on his back.
I'm glad though that since the early days when he's doing all that silly stuff against Cody, it's been toned back now, because obviously last week as we're sat here, he had the match with Moxley.
Yes.
And everyone's thinking, how can those two rapscallions just have a normal singles match? But they can have a bloody good one.
Oh, it was great,
It was
yeah.
fantastic. So yeah, he's just great, isn't he?
Still maintained a rougher edge though.
Yeah.
But it was nice.
Cracking theme as well. I do like it.
I just think I hate him a little bit. Just really jealous of him.
Well, because he's got all of the talent. And
He's got talent. He's a good-looking little man.
He's a cool
He
skater
can skate.
dude.
Yeah,
He falls off all the time, doesn't he?
that'll show him.
Dustin Rhodes.
Right.
I think this is it's a toss up between two.
Is it these two?
Yeah, it's
yeah,
the-
it
it's
is,
the
isn't
top
it?
two, but
Because he's had the. Go on.
You go first.
I was going to say I was inclined to put him in best because he is still one half of the best match in AEW history.
He is, yeah. I mean, that speaks for itself. doesn't
Although,
it?
what was it the other day that Richard Tubman was saying? It was one of my best match of the night.
Yes, our editor Richard Tubman watched Double or Nothing and said that Cody versus Dustin was not the match of the night.
You might
I
be
think
thinking, oh, he must have gone for the tag match, the Lucha Bros and the Young Bucks.
no.
No, not so. He went for Jericho and Omega, which I found underwhelming.
I felt unbelievable call. He should have been fired there and then. He wasn't though. He's a good editor. He did his
he's
job.
good.
Just a horrible hot take.
Should we put?
Yeah, just I think he helped Cody along as well in that
Yeah.
storyline against Jericho, taking his arm off in the car door.
Oh,
and
he's
whatnot.
really good in everything he does, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I bet he helps out backstage, doesn't he? So it seems like he's just a nice man.
Yeah.
He's a nice man who paints off his head.
Let's stick him in there.
This is Emi Sakura.
Right, at first I wasn't a fan, just because I said this on like every graded every week. She's meant to be a heel, she's aligned with heels, then she tries to get the crowd to sing along with Queen songs and stuff, and I was like, what's this?
What is that all about? Why is she Freddie Mercury?
She's a big fan of Freddie Mercury.
Why
according
haven't
to
they
Excalibur.
explained this though?
Excalibur's just gone, she's a huge fan of Freddie Mercury.
That means now though. It doesn't mean you have to dress up and have a fake mustache and everything.
Nakamura did it in New Japan and nobody cared. He didn't dress as Freddie Mercury.
He wasn't doing We Will
No,
Rock
he
in the middle of
wasn't. No,
matches
he
though, was he?
wasn't. No.
But I was very much like of the same. I didn't give a hoot until the second half of that match against
Oh, I was going to say exactly the same thing.
Rio, because it was just liquid wrestling, wasn't it?
She was deceptively, because she's a slightly older woman and looks a bit slower sometimes, but she was deceptively really fast.
Aye, the second
Oh,
half
it
of
was
that
brilliant.
match was unbelievable. Plus, I think they were hard done by both Rio and her in that rivalry, because it wasn't until the kick-off show, or the buy-in, whatever, they made a big deal about teacher versus student.
Was it not? Apparently they had on some of the YouTube and stuff.
Oh, we're not on the
but
main
not
show.
On the, no,
yeah,
not enough.
Messed that right up. Should have been a lot more of a bigger deal than it felt when it started. But, you know, we got there in the end. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'll stick her in.
Yeah.
Oh, I think lovely.
Yeah, seems like a nice lady.
She does.
Queen are good as well.
Yeah. I know someone who thinks they're massively overrated.
Sam Driver.
No, it's not Sam. It's no one in the office. It's just one of my mates. But yeah, I
Oh,
don't.
it's bad, man.
Thinks Freddie's an overrated frontman.
Well, that's worse than Richard Tubman's call about
It
Double or
is, yeah.
Nothing. So next up we have sexy evil Uno, who confuses the absolute piss out of me, because we haven't been told why he wears the mask, why he has the gimps, why anything about him, but he comes out doing old tropes of a really old-fashioned heel.
Yeah.
It really it's the juxtaposition really doesn't. I don't understand what I'm seeing.
And the last time I was aware of him was during my days as a little Chikara fanboy, pre-Cultaholic, and he was playing as Player Uno, a creator wrestler basically.
Yeah.
That was his gimmick, and now he's an evil.
It's just the way, like, he's the Dark Order, dark, scary, boo boo boo. They've got the gimps and everything, but then he just comes out and he's doing all like 1980s heelisms to the crowd, and it's just like, what's going
Doing
on
that,
here?
wait, one sec. Doing that like
I don't want to listen to you. It's just really confusing. You've picked up Excalibur there, be careful.
Oh, got a different.
So, I think again we're doing this a bit early because last week they had the Join Us promo package.
in
which-
fairness, that's I'm hopeful. I'm
Yeah,
hopeful for that.
so maybe if, in a few weeks' time it'll all become clear. But I do like him though, because on Twitter some lass tweeted, which sex club was Evil Uno found at? And he was like, have you ever been to Montreal? And that's a bit of banter. And I
Oh.
appreciate the banter.
Lovely
But I'm
stuff.
going to go
I was going to go just about bearable.
I think it's.
Right.
I think it's. But he's a good wrestler, though, isn't he?
Oh, of course he is.
His matches have been fantastic.
It's not an issue with their matches at all. Should we do Stu as well? Yeah,
Sorry, Grayson. He's had the Stu taken away.
Has he?
Yeah.
Just good.
Just Grayson now. He's no longer from the IT department.
Yeah, Stu Grayson just sounds like, especially when his tag partner's called Evil Uno.
Yeah. But they do have very good matches, but it's just the whole gimmick is still, as we're sat here on November the 27th, it's still very confusing.
Hopefully, the video package goes somewhere and it improves.
Yeah.
And again, they're good, they're both really good.
Yeah, they
especially Stu. I think Stu's
the star of the team.
But not enough to...
Even though he is the sub to Evil Uno's Dom.
Is he? I thought all the little lads were the...
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
So next up we have Excalibur. And he is... Him and Nigel are the two standouts in terms of like the American play-by-plays, I think.
Nigel?
Sorry, the colour commentators. Nigel McGuinness.
Oh, American in terms of American shows?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, on Wednesdays.
On a Wednesday.
They rule a Wednesday, yeah.
They do,
yeah, I agree. Nigel's brilliant. Excalibur's great. Excalibur, I really enjoy when he says something a bit too indie and then neither Jim nor Tony say anything for about 20 seconds and you can just feel just like the awkwardness. But
that's why his rule's so crucial, because obviously he's been around these lads and lasses for bare time, and Jim and Tony haven't. So when Jim and Tony are confused, Excalibur fills in the gaps and he does a great job doing it. But I like the juxtaposition, like Excalibur's like their nerdy son.
Yeah.
Jim and Tony are like the mum and dad.
Yeah.
Who's the mum and who's the dad?
Oh, Jim's the dad.
Jim's the dad.
Jim's obviously the dad, yeah.
The horny dad on Twitter.
Just the grumpy dad.
So next up we have Jake Hager, right? And it's the lowest it can possibly be is lovely, lovely, lovely.
Really?
Because I was terrified, right? Obviously after what we saw in 5-Star Wrestling.
Yeah.
AEW completely muting the guy would have taken away so much joy from our lives. Because if you haven't seen 5-Star Wrestling, first of all, what's wrong with you? And second of all, Hager stole the show.
He was a promo god.
Along with Zach Gibson. The to and fro between Zach Gibson and Jake Hager was unbelievable, and you have to see it. But I love the silence to begin with, and obviously his part in the Chris Jericho promo. And then last week when Jericho couldn't say sorry, so he gave Hager an S word to say, which was a bit cruel, but also a bit funny.
Yeah, a bit.
What do you think?
If Lovely, Lovely, Lovely is the lowest he can go, I want to stick him in Lovely, Lovely, Lovely. Not in a harsh way, and I do think they've used him really effectively, but because he's had quite a limited role, I find it hard to bump him up to the best.
But again, it's like they've seen his strengths and they've seen his weaknesses and thought, we're not WWE, we'll not put him in this main event role where he has to cut promos, and that's clearly a weakness.
Yeah.
Unless he's in 5-Star, we'll just have him be silent and kick people's heads off. And stuff.
I also really rate the absolute banter of being built up for this MMA match that he was clearly meant to win, and then they'd be like, he's just kicked someone in, and he just got disqualified for booting him in the balls too many times.
And he did that to Dustin Rose, didn't he, on the Dynamite after?
Little reference to it as well. That was really good stuff.
So next up we have Moxley, and he's the most captivating wrestler in the world today.
Do you think he's going to be the man who's getting built up to finally beat Jericho out of anyone? It seems like it.
The way he got, and I said a swear word there, the way he got screwed by Tony Khan with it not counting towards the win-loss record, I do think that's the way it's going. And plus, just watching these promos is fantastic. It just makes you wonder why, what were they doing? I think I saw on Reddit, like yesterday, so Tuesday this week, it was a year to the day since his doctor promo where he had the injection.
Oh, it doesn't feel like a year.
Bloody hell, it feels like
awful.
10.
It was...
Night and day.
The big... He's a great wrestler as well, and especially in his... He's had some really good matches in AEW, but especially in his New Japan matches, he's taken it to a level that I didn't know he could wrestle at. He's been great. But his strength's always been his talking.
Yeah.
And then when WWE started to mess that up, I couldn't believe it.
It was such a...
so now they've
baffles belief.
Now they've set him free a bit. He's just proven again how great he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know what else I have to say there.
No.
Hangman. I made the noise of a horse there.
So I'm guessing you're thinking meh.
I'm thinking meh. I appreciate how good he is at the wrestling. I love, he's a big stocky lad, but he can fly and also hit massive clotheslines and stuff.
Yeah.
But when he's talking, there was that one promo where it was unbelievable, where he ripped the stitches out of his head. But other than that, he's not connecting with me.
He's not with me either, really.
And Hunter Horse Helmsley, that was another highlight.
And I don't know why, because he's got all the tools, but they're not quite yet. I don't know what it is.
He's a lot funnier, a lot more endearing to me, at least, on Being the Elite than he is in AEW.
Yeah.
So if more of the All Elite Hangman, the Being the Elite Hangman could make its way onto the Dynamite, that would be lovely. But it's a harsh meh.
It is a harsh one. I'll stick him at the front just to make him feel better. Oh!
Get out the way, Angelico. He won't budge. He's not doing it.
Right, he's probably staying there and then get in on Angelico. He doesn't want to let go of that.
Politician.
Next up, is that Nyla Rose?
That's Nyla Rose.
Okay. I've not got my lenses in, sorry, I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not a fan, personally, of her, but I would put her in second bottom tier rather than bottom tier, because I feel like before Awesome Kong turned back up, she was an effective big woman.
I was going to say, in that match with Rio, she really did play a role very well. She made Rio's victory all the more because fans were just against her winning. I guess that's a role some people have to play in it.
And also in the three-way match with Rio, and I think it was Yuka Sakazaki, she was good in that as well. But sometimes she's not that great in the ring. But I think it would be harsh to put her in the very bottom.
Oh, no, she's in the bin. She's definitely got a role to play.
Yeah.
Eventually, when her and Kong have a feud, I guess that'll be
surely
big bruising feud.
Yeah.
But she's definitely played her role, like in that title tournament especially.
I think she's just about bearable for now.
Yeah, no worse than that for me.
Yeah.
I mean, Jimmy Havoc is obviously the best of the best, isn't he? Just a fantastic wrestler, a great all-round guy.
He is. I like him. But I don't know if he's going top tier in AEW.
Oh, he's just the top of the top tier.
Why have you
Still scared of him.
Oh, right, I see. I understand what you're doing now. I was going to go lovely.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of AEW, it's hard because he hasn't been featured too much.
No.
And when he does get featured, he's got a stapler. That's all we really.
I think he's done a bit more than that. There was, if you look before Dynamite started, he had a few things going on in those big hardcore matches
the multi-man matches, didn't he?
Yeah, he won one of them. I think he won the Cracker Barrel Clash thing. Yeah.
I've just forgotten about all of this. I do apologise.
I think he was good, and now since Dynamite started, he's faded a bit.
Yeah.
But I think he still deserves to be in the second top tier.
Yeah, I'm confused on Being the Elite as well, because on Being the Elite, he's funny when he's used, because obviously he's so deadpan. And just emasculating in every way.
He once told me to. We were outside. It was after a show. We were outside of Trillions, the rock bar, and we were going to the next place. And it was me and him, and then a couple of other wrestlers, and then just loads of people who'd been at the show as well. And he got me to lead the way. He was like, "You know the way. You're from here." And I was like, "I don't really."
It's not how cities work, is it?
And I was like, and he was pressuring me. I was like, give me a second, because I had a bit of heartburn. I'd just finished my drink really fast. I was like, 1 second. He's like, why don't you just man up? And I was like, whoa. Obviously, all the wrestling fans were like, whoa.
Yeah.
So maybe he's not. Maybe he's not.
Maybe he's an arsehole.
He's not.
Yeah, I'll settle for that. Le Champion.
Oh,
I mean, he's in the best, isn't he? I know people are going to maybe moan. Some people moan because he's not as quick as he used to be, but that's Mother Nature. That is just age.
But he's compensated. He's overcompensated for it with his promos and his humour. He's so good.
Yeah.
It's like a modern day Ric Flair.
And it's like the attire as well. The spot. It's ironic in every single way, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Not like Dolph Ziggler when Ziggler rocks up in his 80s game. You just think, oh, he's trying to be Nikki Sixx, and trying to live out a dream. But Jericho's just hit every nail on the head, hasn't he? Jericho so far. It's another thing like with WWE. Just let your wrestlers have a say because they know what's best for their characters.
Yeah. What's been your favourite Jericho moment so far?
That promo package, isn't it?
Yeah, same.
With Virgil. Sorry.
Soul Train
Jones,
one of the two. Soul Train.
And his mum's mate from the church and whatever else was on there. It's just fantastic. Yours?
It's the same. It's
the only answer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jungle Boy?
I think he's a solid.
I think he's already Virgin on the best, but not quite yet. Not quite yet.
He's definitely a star of the future.
Yeah.
Every time Meltzer mentions him on anything, talks about how good looking he is.
I mean, he is good looking.
He is good looking, but Meltzer thinks he's bloody gorgeous.
Do you see that promo package where they're in the forest, and Jungle Boy's on the edge of the river, and it pans up and just shows you everything. Oof! It gets
What's he wearing?
He's wearing just his little brown trunks and his boots. It's just a real innocence that's lost in professional wrestling. That gimmick, him and Luchasaurus and Marco Stunt. It's just like it's a Jungle Boy and his dinosaur.
You know what? And you'll disagree with this. I don't mind it when Jim calls him Jungle Jack.
I fully agree with it.
I thought you were going to be like
no, because it's like Jack Perry, Luke Perry, Matthew Perry. Whose son is he? Well, Google.
I wish it was Matthew Perry's son. Oh, could he be any more into dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be brilliant.
I don't think it's the backlash is because it wasn't like that before, was it? It's just sort of Jim just started doing it by himself. But I can fully see why.
Right, fair enough.
But so we do Luchasaurus as well now? Because I think Luchasaurus is very much the same.
Yeah, he's the same.
And it's going to be controversial, but I think Marco's the same as well.
I was going to say absolutely the same. I hate this this whole idea that he's small, so he's not very... Rey Mysterio just won the US title.
Yeah.
And obviously Rey is a legend and everything, Of course he is. But give him a chance.
And I love Jim Ross. His commentary helps a lot with Marco.
It does.
He's like, he's just full of heart, and he's trying to do it, even though he's very small, and he's got some sort of thing wrong with his back or something. I was watching on that.
Oh, really?
Dinner room service.
Did you watch that?
Yeah.
He was so funny in it. I love how I couldn't get over the idea. I thought Nick Jackson might have hated him slightly. Nick Jackson, every time he said something, everyone else would laugh. Nick Jackson would be like, what? And then he came out with just like, when I used to live in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
You're like 22. When did you do that?
Yeah.
Oh, he's
was his dad was in the army or something?
Something like that. Yeah.
But it's so weird how like in a gimmick with a dinosaur, like he's the unrealistic one. But anyway, I think he works perfectly fine. Me, Kenny Omega.
Right. I'm going second top tier.
I was gonna say meh.
Whoa.
Oh, no, I'm not. Not after that lights out match we've just seen.
Yeah, true.
Unbelievable match. But up until that point, I was a bit like, what? You can see what they're doing because, like, obviously when All Elite started, you'd be thinking, Omega's there, whoo, straight at the top. But they're knocking him down to build him back up again.
Which is fine.
Keep him down.
That's fine, but for his tier ranking, it has made him suffer a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm like you at the start. A couple of years ago, Omega I thought was the best wrestler in the world, and now because we've seen him less regularly and stuff, I think he still has great matches with people.
Oh, definitely.
But yeah, he's a work in progress at the minute.
Yeah, I hope they go more in with the sort of him losing his marbles, and I guess that's we're sat here in the end of November. By the time we get halfway through December, they might have. But like they sort of started going there, and then they sort of backed away. I want them to go more in there because I think he can do it. Do you know when he was like on that Being the Elite episode when he's like, I've only just begun or something was the quote. I'm only getting started or whatever it was. It looked like he was finally going to crack.
And they didn't.
They just didn't.
Yeah.
Go more in with that and I'm getting more invested.
Go all in.
Kip Sabian? This is hard.
I was going meh, because we haven't seen enough of him yet.
No, we
haven't
haven't
seen enough of what he can do.
And it looks like he's on the start of becoming the modern... I'm gonna say something massive here. Maybe just in terms of gimmick, the modern day sexy boy Shawn Michaels.
Whoa!
In terms of the gimmick, I mean...
That is huge.
He even wears the Shawn Michaels sexy boy early 90s glasses.
Now, it was surprising, I thought, and this is not a knock on Kip Sabian because I'm a big fan of his. I think he's great. And I hope they give him more of a chance to show what he can do. But when they signed him, he wasn't as many non-UK wrestling fans would have assumed. They might have thought, they've signed this English guy. He'll be on like the same level of fame as a Jimmy Havoc.
No.
Whatever. Not at all. He was an up-and-comer, I think, still. And they must have just seen the potential and gone, snap him up.
I mean, there's lots of potential there, isn't there? I mean, he's good now. That moment, was it Fyter Fest? I think it was Fyter Fest when he just went up to that fan, kissed him. One of the best moments in all Elite wrestling history.
That was fantastic, yeah.
So yeah, maybe in a couple of weeks' time we'll be a bit higher up because we're just getting started with Penelope, the bad girl.
Should we do her now? Is she on there?
Well. She's in the same thing. I'll tell you there with the glasses.
I was hoping I wouldn't click. Again, it's all blurry, and I thought I was going to click. What's she called? The British lass.
Sadie Gibbs.
Yeah, but no, it's Penelope. She's wearing some bad girl sunglasses. So.
But that's obviously this is. I think we're like 2 or 3 weeks into these two being like an on-screen pair. Obviously they are off.
Do you feel a bit sorry for Joey Janela?
Why? Just because she hasn't got her?
Because they were together.
Is it like an actual boyfriend girl?
And then she broke up with him, and now she's gone out with that sexy beast.
Oh,
you'd be devastated, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would.
And Joey's a really good-looking man as well, but not on the level of Kip Sabian's one of the best.
If we're tiering them in terms of looks, Kip Sabian's in top tier.
Well, that's
a list for a different day. Maybe that will do it at Christmas or something. So next up we have Leva Bates.
Just getting the bin.
Getting the bin.
I'm sorry.
The gimmick is what it is.
It's not her fault.
It's crap. No, it isn't. I think she's rubbish.
It's not her fault.
I think her as a wrestler, and it's just I never got blue pants.
I liked blue pants.
I thought she was bad then. I think she's bad now.
No, I liked blue pants. I thought she complimented the Vaudevillains really well. Remember them?
Remember them? They were quite good then.
Before Aiden English was a commentator and Simon Gotch was a YouTube thumbnail. But no, I
always will put Big Peter in as well. Yeah. Peter's going in. It's like because he does the best with it because he does make people boo him when he's speaking.
She's more of a tweener. It's weird.
She stopped doing that last week, like reacting like, don't say that, Peter. But I just think she's rubbish.
I've just seen another bin lad coming up as well.
Oh yeah, they made the right decision making Mr. Alex Marvez a backstage interviewer. What I don't think he's that anymore, is he?
I don't know what he does.
Just appears on the sort of dark exclusive interviews and stuff. He wasn't. He was former NFL commentator or something, I believe.
I feel like he doesn't understand wrestling, and he seems a bit scared by it all.
He is the Britt Baker of commentary. He is dead behind the voice box. It was just like the climax of a match. You'd be like, "Wow, what a move!"
Yeah.
But yeah, he's in the right role now. I think they did well to do that.
Oh, should we bum him up a bit?
No, it's okay. Leave him in the bin. So next up we have Matt Jackson.
Oh, top. So I've got to say top.
But he is the worst of the Young Bucks, I'd say.
I prefer him.
Do you?
I think Nick does the crazier moves and flips, but I think Matt sells better. He's always selling a body part. He's always the one. He's always the Ricky Morton. He's always getting beaten down.
He is the big brother, isn't he? Like,
he is the big brother.
Calm down, little brother.
That's true. And I think he's like away from AEW in like, or at least away from Dynamite on YouTube and stuff. He's the funniest by a mile.
Do you reckon?
Oh, he's got a funny face.
Yeah, well,
looks like Jim Carrey.
We might as well do Nick now as well. Nick's
going top as well.
Nick's going top as well. But the merch freak stuff, what is it? I
don't really get it.
No, it's not funny at all.
I don't understand. I don't get it.
I don't get it at all.
But they've been really selfless. They've put people over, which is really good.
Which is obviously the big. They had to do it, didn't they? Because it was the big fear when they were starting. We'd have Cody as the world champion, those as the tag team champions. They've done. Oh, it's been a fantastic start.
I was delighted when they got knocked out by the Private Party in the first round. It was a good decision, and it was a really good match too.
It was, yeah. And that's the thing that they've probably had, like, on a consistent basis, the best matches so far.
Yeah,
probably.
Potentially.
Out of everybody. Nakazawa.
Get in the bin now.
Really?
I don't get him. Yeah, I know he's Cody.
The body oil?
I know he's Kenny's mate.
He's Kenny's mate and he's got the body oil.
He's a bit
slips
wacky.
Out.
Well, a bit wacky. He's very wacky. I just don't like him, but I'll consider bumping him up if you want.
I'm trying to make a case, but he hasn't wrestled too much.
He had that match against Jay Bailey. Who I'm devastated to see is not on the roster.
Well, but I'm not. But yeah, it's hard, isn't it, with Michael Nakazawa? I'm trying to think why. Let's try and make a case to why we'd move him up to just about bearable.
Oh, I'm not. I don't like him.
Well, I can't think of one, so we'll just.
I don't know too much about him in DDT. Maybe he's brilliant there, and there was loads of in jokes that I'm missing. But at the minute, I
did like how he stepped up for Kenny.
Yeah, that was nice.
There's a good one.
There we go.
So next up,
I'm not going to move him.
We have Ali, and I think she might have wrestled the most matches out of the women outside of Rio and Britt Baker.
Really? Has she?
Been all on dark or something.
Oh, right.
She's got like a record of 3-2 or something as Wasati. I can't remember what it was.
I'm shocked because I feel like before this started, if you told me the roster, I'd have thought Ali will be one of the top contenders, and maybe they are building her up for something coming up. But at the minute, for me, she's only just about bearable because she's not really done anything.
She's in one promo, hasn't she? On Dynamite, maybe. Maybe there's a bit more, but yeah, she's done out wrong. But like, she had her hair chopped off last week, or was it the week before?
Yeah.
I don't know what else you say. We need to see more.
Ali gives me horrible fear because there was a video once when I was trying to sound all clever and stuff, and I was like, Ali did well in this match, and I was really surprised because she's obviously not been around for that long, and everyone was like, Jack, you've only seen her in Impact. She's been around for years and years, and I was like, oh no. So now she's like the manifestation of a mistake for me.
Yeah.
So, but
this, we're doing this in the vacuum of AEW, and she's not done too much apart from wrestle in most matches. So next up we have Santana. I said that weird, didn't I? Santana. I'm going to say, right, he's the lesser.
We've disagreed again.
Of Pride and Powerful.
I prefer him out of Santana and Ortiz.
Oh, Ortiz is wacky and mad.
He is.
He's like a little dog, isn't he?
He is, but I like Santana's coolness more.
Yeah, I don't like. He just goes around doing that, doesn't he?
Well,
pop a cat in somebody's ass.
Well, he's from New York.
Yeah. Which is, we should mention this as well, that promo package they did at the start of the Full Gear buy-in, where they cut one of the best babyface promos I've ever seen. Where like, be proud and powerful of who you are.
Oh, yeah.
And then you got to go and hate them because they're in the inner circle. It
was
weird. But they are
like
they're
street kids, aren't they?
Yeah, at the very least, lovely. Yeah,
I was going to put them in lovely. And with potential to move up to the best.
Yeah, maybe
not yet.
I think I'll do Ortiz now as well.
Stick him in there as well.
Ortiz is there.
There he is.
He's my favourite out of the two. I love that Selly did. Was it a super kick he took and he started doing that back and forward? I guess I can see why people might hate that. It's not real. But it was funny. It was
entertaining as well.
So next up we have MJF, and I don't think we need to say too much here.
No, he's gone right at the top.
He's like, what do you say about the guy?
He's the next big thing. He's the next big heel.
He's the Brock Lesnar of age.
Yes, he is. No, he's going to be, if his career goes as expected, he'll be remembered alongside like Rick Rude as like one of the best talking heels ever. He gets heat like no one else today.
And when he does, when he turns babyface, I think it's going to be massive. If he ever does.
Whoa! Wow.
He had shades a bit when he was with Cody, and it was working.
Do you think he will?
Oh, mate, years down the line.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Years, but like when he does, it'll be like, whoa.
Maybe. He's just so good as a heel.
Yeah, I don't know what else you say about him. He's fun. And he can wrestle as well, which some people forget.
Yeah,
I was watching some match where he's doing dives over the top rope and everything.
And he's younger than us.
Bin. So next up we have Shawn Spears, who got off to the hottest start possible, but since then has sort of... But I still love him and Tully. I don't know why Tully's not on the roster page. He'd been the best for me.
Yeah.
But hit the partnership there, and when Tully gets involved, Tully's just a wonderful bastard.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is about him because he goes to church and stuff, but you still hate him.
Do you see Tessa this week on Impact? Impact did a throwback
What
episode.
were they called?
The Roughnecks or something
The
like that?
Roughnecks, yeah, and she was talking about coming on everyone.
Well, like in a fighting sense.
No, she was going to Jack Taylor. But yeah, Shawn Spears, I guess, it's either met or lovely, 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 but I don't think it can be met after that start. Because you did hate the guy when you did the chair shot, but it sort of has come to a standstill as we're sat here now.
It was brilliant, and I remember watching his entrance thinking it was really good, but I don't think he should do that entrance every time now. Not for a match against Michael Nakazawa or someone. That's why I hate Nakazawa so much.
A match where he doesn't need a chair.
Yeah, like the lights all go down for him and everyone's like, who's the debut, who's going to... And it's just Shawn Spears. Yeah. But I'm going to also agree and push him up to lovely, lovely because of the brilliant start, and I'm going to include Tully's management as part of his game. Definitely. So yeah, there we go.
So next up we have the bad boy, Joey Janela.
I think also lovely, lovely, lovely.
I think that as well.
Were you going to?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, is that a match we've seen? I can't bloody remember. Have we seen this match? Are we building towards the match?
No, we've had the match. It was on the last pay-per-view, and Shawn Spears won because Tully jumped off the steps.
Yes.
Spike pile drived him.
That was the best thing he's done in all these, Mr. Tully. But yeah, Joey Janela, I think a lot of people had an idea of what he was, but he's sort of proven he's more than that.
Yeah.
He's just a hardcore man who jumps off buildings with big men into fireful trucks with tables and glass.
Oh, he had a good match with Kenny that was a wrestling match as well.
Oh yeah, on Dark.
Yeah.
That might, does that get
not just that one. He had a normal singles match with him again the next week.
Oh yeah, the next week after he got one-winged angeled on stood-up chairs.
Yeah.
Horrible.
I don't think he's quite best yet.
No.
But maybe.
Maybe one day. I'm
glad we've put him ahead of Kip and Penelope because I feel so bad for him. You know.
We should explain, if you don't know where Penelope comes from, Google Booker T and Penelope Ford and you'll see it. So next up we have Rio, who at the start I was just thinking, well, she's a nice lass, but I don't really care. But then the tournament happened and I cared.
Yeah, she's in between these two for me. Potentially best tier.
It's weird, isn't it? I think was it Meltzer saying Kairi Sane is better in every way, but like the only difference is she's booked right.
Yeah.
And it's like, I do think she's in the best because she's the wrestling as well speaks for herself.
She's the very opposite of MJF. There he is. Like she's effective because she's a total babyface.
Yeah.
He's effective because he's a total heel.
You know what? The only thing I don't like about her, and it's not even anything to do with her, it's just Jim Ross's endless. She weighs 90 pounds.
She started training when she was 9.
Yeah. So I am, Jim. We've heard it already. So anything else to say on Riho?
I don't know if you remember, but in Vegas after that 6-woman Japanese women's match, me and you both naturally gravitated to one or the other. You were Yuka, and I was Riho, but that was just a bit of a joke at the time because she was tiny and she kicked out of everything. I'm glad now that she relies more on her skill and quickness. I don't like when she kicked out of she did kick out of a lot in that
match went on for ages.
It did, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So next up we have Mr. Isaiah. And then he said Kennedy because of Jim Ross last week. Cassidy. Jim Ross, your name.
Private Party.
Don't
call them the Private Party. Someone got very annoyed with me in the comments for saying the Private Party. It's an easy mistake to make.
Yeah, it's just a private party, but they've heard him party.
The bouncer's not on this list.
The bouncer's not on the roster page. Is he the same guy from WCW? He must be.
I don't know.
Late 90s WCW security guard.
Oh.
Anyway, they're at least lovely, lovely, lovely. Even, I guess the only thing that's keeping them out the best is lack of promo time. To, more explain who they are and what they. Because I'm being the elite again. I shouldn't be doing this, but they are sort of intertwined in a way. They do a thing with that's not water. That drink it if you move. It's not water. Be careful. But the matches speak for themselves. The gimmick, I think, works. Yeah. I don't know what else you got to say.
I'm gonna stick them in.
Who's the better?
Right now, when he's on his game, it's Mark Quinn, but just week to week, Cassidy. He's more of a Michael Carrick, whereas Mark Quinn's more who's more of a inconsistent firebrand. Who's
central midfield.
I don't know why I've gone for
Michael Carrick, slow and steady. 7 out of 10 every week.
Right, okay. He's like Jordan Henderson for Liverpool currently, and then you've got
Well, he's crap and just runs around.
No, Joe Dennison's not right. He's like, right, I'll do a Newcastle one for you, right? He was like a solid central midfielder that you had who was good recently.
Isaac Hayden.
Right, and the other one's
John Joe Shelby.
The other one's Ben Arthur.
Inconsistent.
Ben Arthur, because when he's on his day, he's really good.
Yeah. I love the the tails he's got.
Yeah, I like that as well.
Very different, isn't it? So next up we have Orange Cassidy, which is probably going to melt the comment section, whatever we say.
Because he divides opinion a lot.
Because he divides opinion a lot.
Well, I was going to go Lovely.
I think it's very, very valid.
Right.
A very, very well-earned position.
Yeah?
Were
you tempted to go Best?
There's just something about him that makes you love him, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think he's worth the best because the gimmick sort of means he can't wrestle a match like these men and the ladies at the top. But like he gets the biggest reactions every single week. The little thing in the toilet. It's just like they've got to continue to use him correctly because obviously if they do have him, winning the world title, that's a bit weird.
Yeah. but Meltzer talked well about. He made a good point about him. He said that the thing that's going to really take him to the next level is in the future when a feud comes along that makes him have to care. He has to take his hands out of his pockets and really go for it, and the crowd will just come unglued for that. So yeah, he's lovely.
So next up we have War Geordie Pack.
He's got to be top, hasn't he?
He has got to be top.
Yeah.
It's weird because he's a heel who does all these amazing things. So you can tell he's trying to hold himself back because we've seen one version of him in WWE and around the world and everywhere, and he does everything. But then he's a proper bastard here, so he has to sort of tone it back a bit, which maybe hampers his perspective, people's outlook on him when they're just watching him wrestle.
I think he's good. I was just going to check that we're still on the screen.
We're still on the screen.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah,
I just worried. I had a horrible thought.
Pax is that. People might not agree with that. I don't know why they would, but
I think he's very good at everything. He's good at wrestling. He's good at being a heel. He's good at he's just really all round. And you never, when you're watching a Pac match, it's probably going to be really good.
And there's one tonight, as we're sat here, which has already happened by the time you see it, against Mr. Omega. It's weird how they sort of just hide him in there with the same lads over and over and over again.
Yeah, it is.
I wonder where he's going to go, what he's going to do. Because surely he's got to be close to the top of the rankings. I know he's had a couple of defeats recently, but
I think he might be number one, or maybe behind Moxley. Yeah, he's really good.
Penta, top.
Oh, I was going to go Penta. Penta second, Phoenix top.
Well, I think
that was just to emphasise how good Phoenix has been.
I was going to say, Penta's top, but Phoenix has been the MVP of All Elite so far.
Oh, he's been the total MVP of All Elite.
He's been the total MVP of All Elite so far. Every single week he just steals the show. Every week he's wrestling, he just steals the show.
He's really, really good.
Unless it's that week with Chris Jericho in his promo.
I think he's fantastic. But outside of AEW, when they're a tag team, when they're singles wrestlers, I really used to enjoy Pentagon more when I was first aware of them both, like in Lucha Underground and stuff. He's a bigger character, but Phoenix has just gone to another level now.
It's just Phoenix doesn't even need a character really, because it's just the stuff he does just blows your mind, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, Penta's definitely got more of a character about him, but Phoenix just speaks for himself.
Yeah,
fantastic. So next up, we have QT Marshall, who to me is man with Apple.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm putting him in the bin.
I think he has. There's been promo packages shown with bloody Brandy, where she's been training, and he's the one been training because he owns a school. Okay. So that's something else we know about him. But
I saw an interview where he it was one of his. I think it was one of the Cody ones where it's like undesirable to undeniable, that thing. He talked about how he was signed by Ring of Honor years ago, and he came in and they pushed him way too hard because he was like really built and he looked great, and the fans just didn't click with him, and then he got injured, and it was a really nice story, and I'm glad that he's got a position now backstage where he's really good, but as an on-screen character it's got to be Bin.
I mean, how many matches has he had?
I don't know, but he teamed with John Silver and the other one.
Yeah, the SmackDown jobbers.
Yeah.
He's had 2 matches, I think I saw. I don't know what else you say about him.
No.
Jim Ross.
Just about bearable for me.
Just about bearable is right.
Were you going to say the same?
I'm sick to death of listening to him moan about every pinfall that's not technically correct.
Didn't quite hook both legs.
Got to pin both shoulders down there.
The only thing saving him from the bin is that he's Jim Ross, and when he lets go a bit and just talks about how exciting something is, it's Jim Ross's voice.
When he gets into it and forgets about the pinfalls for a second.
Yeah.
The Scorpio Sky ascension to the titles, he made that better by doing what he does best and adding to the story. But the moaning about certain moves that he used too much, and it's like you better commentate on the match and tell the story, not just air your own grievances.
Yeah. I feel like if it was anyone else that made and he makes mistakes all the time, and I feel like if any other commentator ever made the amount of mistakes that he did, we'd be complaining about them loads.
Yeah.
But he gets a pass because he's the voice of wrestling, so he's just about bearable. But whoa, it's a fine line.
I'm trying to think who's out there who could potentially replace him.
Mamma Mia. No.
Mauro. Could you imagine? That's a match made in heaven.
It is. Mauro and Excalibur and Tony. That'd be good.
Tony. So Sadie Gibbs. Now we haven't seen too much of Sadie Gibbs.
No.
But when we have, she does everything.
Yeah.
Flips the lot.
Yeah, she does. But I'm still going to say meh for me.
Yeah, you got it, haven't you?
Oh, I thought you were going to say so she deserves to be
No.
in Lovely Lovely.
She just hasn't been used at all. It's just English as well, so go on.
Go on,
yeah.
England.
Yeah, but when you do see her, she's impressive, but again, you haven't seen her too much, so she's very much limited to meh.
Oh, is this an alphabetical order? I've just realised.
It's sort of, kind of, yeah. So next up we have Sammy Guevara, who I think
best.
in the best.
You say I was going to say best
in
as
the
well.
best. When we sat there at Double or Nothing, I was thinking, because I hadn't seen too much of the guy. And that's my own fault. But I was thinking, he's just just a cocky heel, just a young, good-looking man who's a cocky heel with a massive panda's head. But he's shown so much more as being Jericho's little
Spanish god
that he's so much more than that. I saw a fantastic tweet the other day that was saying, like, Jericho's like an old rich man who's taking advantage of this young twink or something. That's the relationship they've got. But him and Jericho as a tag team just works.
Yeah.
Just because of who they are and what I don't know. And he's a fantastic wrestler. But I think the thing I was saying on Straight to Hell is Straight to Hell with him. Go and watch it. He's fantastic. That sets him apart is that he's a younger lad, but he holds it back, doesn't he? Like in terms of like flips and stuff.
A little bit, yeah. More than I was expecting him to.
Yeah, he uses them. He's not a heel who makes you want to stand up and clap for him because he takes it away when he should.
Which is weird because from the very limited amount I'd seen of him on the Indies and the pre-show, the first singles match in AW, him and Kip Sabian, he seemed to just be doing quite a lot.
Yeah.
But he's really managed to, now that he's heel, I agree.
And he broke into WrestleMania 25.
You watch Ross's interview with him?
God, it's such a fantastic story. Right then. Shanna, I believe her name is. The Portuguese premier athlete. That's what I know her as.
I'm thinking
lovely, lovely, lovely.
Well, I was going to say Meh with the potential to quickly, very soon be lovely, lovely.
I wouldn't be against top of Meh, because she's only had 2 matches, I think, on television, but both of them have been great.
Put her up here somewhere, because... Oh, he's moved.
He's moved.
Get out of the way, I'll go now.
He'll move for her, but not for...
Who was it?
I can't remember.
I think it might have been... Oh, it was Hangman. It was Hangman Page.
Maybe.
There we go.
But yeah, the 2 matches she's had...
He's next to them because the pals with them, aren't they?
Yeah.
There you go.
That's the sort of detail we're looking for.
Oh, better move her away from Sadie. Anyway.
Allegedly. But yeah, the 2 matches, I think it's 2 matches she's had. She's been fantastic. I didn't realise how old she was.
Yeah.
She's like in her late 30s, which was unbelievable to me.
You know what she said on this recent interview? That she was like tried out for I think WWE ages ago, didn't quite make it. Tried out for Impact or was in Impact or something, or just never got anywhere in Impact. Told her she was out of shape. I know. Absolutely outrageous.
Bloody hell.
I know.
Oh, I don't know what to say about that.
I know. She didn't say who said that, but...
Whoever they are a numpty.
Yeah.
So next up we have Mrs. Shida.
Oh, I think lovely.
I think definitely.
I think she's really good.
She had Britt Baker's best match.
Yes.
I want to see more character.
Yeah.
That's what's stopping her from being at the top. But in terms of like the women's wrestling we've seen so far, she's one of, if not the best women's wrestler they've got.
Yeah,
surely.
I think so. All round. Yeah, probably. Hopefully, maybe her or Emmy. Emmy was really good in that last match.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I want to see a bit more character, learn a bit more what she's about. I'm worried that Omega's a bit blinkered in his management of the women's division, because I think he's the man in charge of the women's division.
He knows a lot more than the fans do.
He knows a lot more than the fans do, and just assumes.
Yeah.
We
assumed that Rio and Emi Sakura were teacher and student, or student and teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Sunny Kiss is next, and Sunny Kiss is a hard one because Sunny Kiss has barely been used on Dynamite.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking meh.
I'm thinking meh, just because of how little he's been used.
Yeah, I agree.
Lovely arse.
With the potential, lovely arse.
Lovely arse.
The potential to be really good, but similar to quite a lot of people in meh actually. Yeah, just not.
Was
enough
it on
yet.
Dark when he teamed with Dustin?
That was good.
And that sort of that worked.
In the match in that was good.
Yeah, but we need to see more before we can make a call. So meh is the ceiling there. Chuck Taylor.
Lovely.
Yeah,
I think he's great. If we're putting Orange in there,
if we're taking interviews and like shoot interviews out of
then he's the best.
Then he's in the best.
Then he's the best.
But no, I think just from what we've seen with the best friend so far, I think that's the sky's the limit for them.
Have I shown you his video of the list of fake wrestler names he's got?
Yes,
Oh,
I remember
so
it. Couldn't tell you any of them. But,
No gimmicks needed. Steve the Samurai Jenkins is one. Cool Dad, Don Crenshaw, and stuff like that. It's really good.
he's just a funny man.
Yes, very good.
Tony Schiavone is in the best.
He is, yeah, he is in the best.
He is the best commentator in wrestling today, for my money.
He's balanced the iconic, similar to JR, voice of wrestling in the Glory Days thing, with being really accepting of new stuff. He's the nice bridge between. If it was just Jim and Excalibur doing comedy,
It'd
they'd
be
knock
too
it
much
on.
of a juxtaposition.
Yeah. But Tony's the glue.
He's just a nice man, isn't he?
Yeah.
There's a nice man doing his work, sitting in the back of a limo with Cody.
He's
Right down
he's aged really well. I remember as a kid thinking he came across like. I just didn't like him as a kid. I was like, oh, he's shouting. No, not
I don't know if it's because he's doing the podcast with Conrad, and Conrad's brought out a different version of Tony. He's a bit of a dirty man, isn't he, Tony?
Is he?
I was watching StarCast 2, I think it was, or maybe it was StarCast 1, and I was watching Medusa, Alundra Blaze, give him a lap dance.
Wow.
Mellowed out with all age, because I wasn't too much of a fan of him, because I was initially a WCW kid, and I wasn't too much of a fan of him. But yeah, I just think he's so endearing, and he makes everything a lot nicer. And he's got both his ears pierced as well, which shows he's got a lot of sass.
Bit of flair.
So next up we have Trent, question mark.
Lovely as well with the rest of the best
I don't think you can argue with that.
No. It's quite a top-heavy. Well, they've got a strong roster, I suppose.
I mean, they have got a strong roster, and they know how to use most of them quite well.
Yeah.
And so next up, speaking of people who don't know how to use, why haven't we heard that theme from Mrs. Yuka Sakazaki?
I don't know.
She hasn't been seen for ages.
No, she hasn't.
We've got to go. I want to put her in lovely, but for the integrity of this tiered list, we can't go any higher than meh. I don't know if it's because they're waiting to get the rights, because she came out that one time after Double or Nothing, and she didn't have the theme anymore, and everyone kicked off, and Kenny Omega kicked off on Twitter. So maybe they're waiting to get the rights, but when they eventually do, that'll be a bigger return than CM Punk potentially.
We ever find out why Rio pushed her down?
Oh yeah,
that's the biggest. Every week I think about I've mentioned it on some gradeds and not on some others. Every week I think, is this going to be the week we find out why Rio? If they never wrap that up, I'm going to be livid. I hope that's a long thing and they just come back to it. I hate loose ends. I hate them.
Years down the line we'll get there. Cody will do that because he's a good storyteller.
I really hope so, because I need to know why. I need to know why Riho, the biggest babyface in the company, pushed her friend down when she was helping her.
Because the theme took away from Rio's thunder. That's why.
And Yuka did the best sad acting I've ever seen in wrestling. She looked absolutely devastated.
And she was good in that. I can't remember the second match, but the 6-woman match in Double or Nothing, she was great in that.
Yes, she was.
So there we have it. Whistle stop tour through the AEW roster. There is our tiered ranking. Let us know which one of those you disagree with. Probably all of them, judging by the way this series has gone so far.
Not Tony, though.
But you can't argue with Tony. But that's the nature of the game, innit? You've got an opinion. Good for you for having a backbone. I've been Gary YouTube from Cultaholic. This has been Jack the Jobber. Tune in throughout December, probably, where we'll do Raw with Adam Pacitti, or Admin Pacitti as I'm now calling him, because he's got no time to do anything else but admin. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments below. You can follow us on Twitter @Cultaholic. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Cultaholic. And if you enjoy what we do here at Cultaholic, you can pledge to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Cultaholic. Hit subscribe and join us.